Hi, my name is Sergey Gusev. Thank you for downloading this video tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a master copy after a famous Dutch painter of the 17th century, Anthony Van Dyck. I'm going to use oils and linen panel as a surface. Check the list of my art supplies, make sure you have everything, and if you're ready, let's get started. So we start working on this master copy from darkening our surface. We have a very blank white canvas, actually a linen panel I'm using today. It's blank white, and the old masters like to darken their surfaces. They used either colored gesso or they made imprimatur. Take a synthetic brush, and the first thing we need to do is to figure out the upcoming composition of our portrait, and then measure the big proportions. You need to sketch not just the face, not just the portrait. Try to start drawing all the main elements of our composition. So in this case, not just the head, but also the lace color. So in the first layer we don't use white. After we have spent some time on the face, we can darken the background. It might look pretty black. Actually, it's not. I would say it contains some raw umber and ochre. So if you look at the original, you will see some greenish, very slight greenish shades in the background. And I start introducing white. We're going to use titanium white. And I'm sure you know that the old masters used to use lead white. Nowadays we can't find it. Well, sometimes you can find it, but mostly we use either zinc white or titanium white. Lead is not really popular. It's toxic, and producing it is not healthy. So usually we use some other whites, and this is not going to be a problem today because you can use, actually, as I mentioned, different colors. We don't have to use exactly the colors the old masters used. The underpainting is completely dry now. It can take up for 1-2 days. I mixed on the palette some white and ochre. I added a tiny bit of burnt sienna and ultramarine, and we make this kind of neutral color. It's not very cold, it's not very warm. Maybe it's more on the warm side right now because we're using ochre and not so much ultramarine, but anyway, it's more like a neutral color. And we start applying it to all the lights of the face. We actually have a lot of lights on the face. If you look at the source picture, you will see that the forehead is quite a large area. It's very light. Yeah, if you compare it with the rest of the face, of the head, you will see that the rest is darker. I'm not talking about the color. We're talking only about the head right now. So we work on big areas, bigger spots of light and shadow. You can use a bigger brush and even a bristle brush if you like it, though the size of the painting is not really large. We always need to get back to the underdrawing and do smaller or bigger correction. You have obviously to use darker tones in the shadows, or when you paint the hair, or when you paint the eyes. But the skin is quite light, right? So if you look at the original, you can see that the skin contains some purplish, sometimes cool yellowish or bluish tints. And imagine if we start adding some brown into that nice complex color. Let's say you want to darken halftones. So how to do it? How to darken skin tones? If you try to add simply brown like umber, you will probably get a lot of mud on your palette. So the skin tone is going to be muddy. Not pretty looking and not looking alike, because we can see on the source picture, in the original, that the skin tone is very nice, very strong, very clean and bright. And imagine you start adding brown, black. It's going to look more like tonal painting, you know, more like a grisaille, when you use darks to darken the color. Here, when we work with the colors, we have to remember not about the values only, but also about the colors, warm and cool shades. Therefore, when we darken halftones, try to avoid using just browns. Try to use some reddish shades, maybe burnt sienna, maybe a tiny bit of ultramarine, to get not just a darker tone, but also a warmer color. I'm also trying to soften the border between the frontal plane and side plane of the head, so we don't need to have a very strong, hard border over there. Therefore, when you do adjustments in one area, make sure that the other areas around don't create these strong, really sharp edges and borders and even lines. Analyze what you do. And if you see that something is looking great, in your opinion, don't try to make it even better, because maybe you kind of fail, which happens, and all the good things that you achieved during a few months previously will be destroyed. This is going to be a very big disappointment. So I don't want to get in this situation. Therefore, I'm kind of trying to do as much as I want, but I also understand that at some point I have to stop working on this master copy. Otherwise, I can just ruin all the good things I have done. Okay, I think that I'm actually doing the very, very last brow strokes and knife strokes. Find a painting and make a copy of a detail of that painting. Maybe do some sketches of the eyes from different masters of the past. Do some sketches of the noses, ears, hands, anything. You don't have to always spend 2-3 months on the master copy. You can do some quicker ones, but again, the experience you get is just a unique experience. You can't find it anywhere else. I'm hoping to do more master copies in the future, so you're really welcome to once in a while check out my webpage and see what I have done, and maybe you'll find new tutorials. And I really hope that you will like it, enjoy it, and learn a lot from making master copies as much as I do when I do master copies. Thank you for watching. Yeah, take your time and follow this video, make your own master copy. I wish you good luck with that, and see you in my next videos.